Hello every pony, Dale over here. Warning, this video will contain pictures from Google, and also warning it's going to contain my own personal theories about My Little Pony. And today I'm going to talk about Hercules' 12 labors. If you don't know them, I'm going to link to them down below so you can go and read about them yourself. But I actually think like the MLP series is based around like the Hercules' 12 labors. And let me just try to explain quickly or how to, like, I see the common stuff from the 12 labors to the series, or how to say that. So there is this lion in the start that Fluttershy takes care of and like pours needle out of its paw or what it is. And I think like that is the lion from the start, the first labor of Hercules. Now I know like I'm putting like Fluttershy into the shoes of Hercules here, but like all of the trials that they have there could be like a reference to the trials of Hercules within itself. But I will get into that later on maybe. But like I feel like we need to put like Twilight into Hercules' shoes, because like that is her we are following. That is the one that are reminding me most about Hercules, or how to say that. Because like he also starts out like he's a half god, of course, but he tries to find out what he's supposed to do to become a god again. And the first place where we actually see Twilight with a lion is later on, so I don't know if that is going to be like significant, or like, I know it's not a lion, I know like it's a manticore, or it's like something else, like not a normal lion, but I still think like that counts. And of course then there's the Hydra, and they all like have the they all see the Hydra, and again it's Fluttershy that gets a hold of it, or how to say that makes it come forth. But again, like I think like it's more Twilight that takes care of this situation, or they actually all of them run from it. So yeah, I don't know. But then there is like the magical hin, and if you don't know what a hin is, that is actually a deer, or like this is a really quick animal, and I was actually thinking about Forex in this case. Putting him in as the hin would be like a really symbolic way to actually see him. And it also says like in the Hercules' 12 labors, it has like bronze shoes and horns made of gold and stuff like that. And I'm thinking like Forex is fitting the bill, because like when he changes back into like the nice changeling stuff, or reformed changeling, he almost sort of looks like this hin. I actually tried to Google the pictures of it, and I was just like, okay, yeah, and it actually makes sense for him to be like the one that Twilight is going to capture, or how to say that. And this is one of the monsters that Hercules actually captures that are alive, so that's nice. Now we come for an impasse, because like there's also the wild boar. And I know like some people will find this offensive, but I think like the wild boar represents the yaks in this episode. Again, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything, but like the yaks are like destroying everything, and they're like rude, obnoxious, and all of this. And like it says here, like the wild boar was really frightening, and it like was there was a king that was hiding from it and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, like I really feel like they have something in common with each other, or maybe it's only me. And then there is the stalls, or like where horses have their home. Hercules is said to like clean this, and he does so with putting 2 rivers into the stall and cleaning them out really fast, right? And I'm thinking about like the episode where they're cleaning out, Twilight's castle, and also where they're cleaning up the old sister's castle. So I think like that is a really good symbolism here. And now there's also something with birds that has like that almost looks like the what's that called, the big birds that are in the My Little Pony, like the animal birds, but not also like the griffins and stuff like that. These like I think like that could be like have a reference to the griffins, but also to the episode like with Rainbow Dash, where you have to choose a pet. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it is a reference to the griffins, because like it says here like they have like claws of iron. So yeah, I really do feel like it has a reference to that, and that could actually be really interesting and really fitting. So yeah. And then there's the wild Taurus. Now the wild Taurus is like this big Taurus like Hercules have to tame. And I'm thinking about, here is Iron Will. Like there's no question in my mind that is Iron Will, because like that would be really fitting for this place, or how to say that. And then there's the Dominic's horses. Now like I will say like the main 6 could reference to Dominic's horses, or how to say that. Like Twilight is helping them qualify, like get their elements of harmony and stuff like that. I know like that's really out there, but yeah. And then there's like the belt, and here I'm thinking about like the Alicorn amulet instead. I know like it's not a belt, but like if you stretch your imagination a little bit, I think like that has a reference to that. And then there's the dog with the 2 heads, and then there's some cows that needs to be like be looked over, or how to say that. And here I will reference to the ponies of Ponyville, or I will reference again to the yaks. I'm not quite totally sure, but the dog with 2 heads, we have seen that before. That's for sure. I will put a picture of that in here. And then there's the apple that is like being taken care of these princesses and hymn riders. And I'm just like, what is this? But I'm thinking about the sap apple. The sap apple is a really specific apple that only comes when like Granny Smith knows when it comes and stuff like that. So I'm thinking like it could represent that. And then lastly but not least, there's Cerberus. Cerberus was the guardian to the underworld and stuff like that. I have already talked about that. But here, like, it's Hercules' job to actually capture Cerberus. And we see, like, Twilight capture the Cerberus dog and put it into the underworld, where it looks over T-Rex. And I am actually thinking like that could be a really good reference point as well. Tell me in the comments down below if you see the references, or if it's only me that's doing it like a little bit and going a little bit out there. But I actually feel like there's a lot of references from the Hercules' 12 Labours to the My Little Pony show, and I think like you can put in Twilight in Hercules' shoes, because she completes all of her labors and she becomes quote unquote alicorn, and in Hercules' case he became a god again, but he chose to be in the human world with his human lover in like the Disney version. In the real version he becomes a god. So yeah, I don't know which version you like, but I like the version where he stays on Earth with Megara, or yeah, how to say that. But that was actually all. Do remember that inspiration is right around the corner. Do remember to take care of yourself and loved ones. And that was actually all. Yeah, okay. Bye.